And I now give the floor to the representative of Pakistan.
Mr. President, we thank the Secretary General, the Executive Director, UN Women, Civil Society Briefers, Ms. Nora and Ms. Olga, for their insightful briefings. The Secretary General's report is a sobering reminder that 25 years after Resolution 1325, the Women, Peace and Security Agenda stands at a crossroad. Gains hard won over decades are under threat. Progress has stalled, and in too many conflicts, women remain the first and major casualties of violence and the last to be heard in peace processes. Conflict-related sexual violence has risen by nearly 90% in just 2 years, while the number of women and children killed quadrupled between 2023 and 24. These are not just statistics, but shattered lives and silenced voices. Women made up only 7% of negotiators and 14% of mediators last year. The promise of Resolution 1325 remains far from realized. Mr. President, the plight of Palestinian women is one of the gravest tragedies of our times. 7 out of 10 women killed in conflicts around the world in 2024 were in Gaza. Homes, schools, and maternity wards were bombed. Pregnant women gave birth under fire without anesthetics or water. Tens of thousands were displaced. Hundreds of thousands now face famine. These are not collateral tragedies, but deliberate crimes that demand accountability. Across Africa, in Sudan, the DRC, and the Sahel, women face horrific violence. Yet they are the ones who sustain families and hold communities together amid conflict. Despite these vital contributions, they continue to be sidelines from formal mediation processes, under-resourced and deliberately targeted by armed groups. It is deeply regrettable that once again, the Secretary General's report makes no reference to the plight of Kashmiri women who for decades of occupation have endured sexual violence deployed as a weapon of war. UN human rights mechanisms, including the Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights and Special Procedures, along with organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and Médecins Sans Frontières, have documented these violations: structural impunity, harassment of women human rights defenders and journalists, reprisals against female family members of the disappeared, torture and arbitrary detentions, and widespread trauma of sexual abuse and violence. To exclude Kashmiri women from the Women, Peace and Security Agenda erases its legitimacy and undermines its universality. The Jammu and Kashmir dispute is on this Council's agenda, and therefore future reports must reflect their plight accordingly. Mr. President, Pakistan is actively engaged in implementing the Women, Peace and Security Agenda. Our women peacekeepers have served with courage and resilience in DRC, Mali, Central African Republic, South Sudan, Bosnia, and beyond. They have built trust, provided medical care, and supported survivors where justice was denied. They have shown that women in peacekeeping are both symbols of progress and enablers of peace itself. Pakistan remains committed to the UN gender parity strategy and to expanding women's role in our contingents. Mr. President, research is clear. Peace agreements with women's participation are more durable. Binding thresholds for women's representation must apply to all UN mediation processes. Women's protection under international law must be guaranteed, and accountability must be ensured wherever, whenever sexual violence is deployed as a deliberate tactic of war. Resources must also match commitments. Women's organizations in conflict zones, often the first to respond and the last to leave, must receive sustainable and predictable funding. The gender data revolution called for by the Secretary General is equally vital. The Pact of the Future reaffirmed our collective commitment to the Women, Peace and Security Agenda. Now is the time to act. Mandate women's participation, guarantee their protection, promote their leadership, and strengthen accountability. As we mark this milestone year, let us remember the road to peace must be built by women and men together. Sustainable peace demands women that they are at the heart of decision making as mediators, peacekeepers, and leaders. Pakistan will continue to work with this council to ensure that the promise of Resolution 1325 is not delayed, diminished, or denied, but delivered to women and girls across the world. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Pakistan for her statement.